love what's in my bag videos, but this one will be a bit with a twist, because I saw a video from creator who talks about sustainability, analog hobbies, etc. And I realized that I do have great setup here, but I would like some updates to it. So as a bag is good because I can use it as a holder for a bag for like hoodie or something if it's too hot, or I suspect there can be rain or something. I also use it as a holder for my headphones if I don't wear them, which is not that often. And I have very cute crocheted rabbit, not by me, by person online here. The bag itself is really good. I don't remember the brand and it doesn't matter. It's small enough, it's cute enough, but holds quite a lot. It has this strap that doesn't kill a shoulder when I have that much stuff here. And also it's quite soft without adding bulk. So first of all, it doesn't hit your hip with everything inside, but also occasionally in case of emergency, I can use it as somewhere to put my head. Setup, like, it's really great in many things, but for the amount of stuff I use, it's at its limit, meaning that I can technically close it if I will arrange everything very smartly, but if something moved or I need to add one more thing, like I am reading a book and I want to or take something like a notebook, it stays like that often. I'm glad I never was pickpocketed with this book bag, but finding bags that everything that I already love in this without it, but slightly bigger without it being too big, is really hard. Inside it, like, two main things are these two pouches. This is my like emergency, maybe most interesting pouch with mommy clothes. What I have here, let's go quite quickly. I have pads. And no, I don't really track my periods, but also they come like day early, day late, too much, too little. I just forgot to take my pads, someone needs them, anything can happen. So I just have few. When I travel I put some more, but I have here sat small mirror, which I don't really use, to be honest, but I bought it because of Rabbit from Alice in the Wonderland quite long ago, and I cannot put myself to get rid of it. So he lives here. I have a comb. My regular hairbrush is a bit bulky, so I can use my fingers, but I don't know, it doesn't take that much space, so it's here. I have a hair tie. I usually have something with me always, and I can use any like pen or pencil to hold my hair, but also doesn't take a lot of space, but useful. Then let's move to a beauty section, so to say. I have pimple patches. I bought them. I'm not sure they work that well, but at least they allow me to cover something that I'm not supposed to touch and make it worse. So at least for this purpose, they are perfect. I have sunscreen stick. I usually use liquid sunscreen, but occasionally I will forget, or it's a very sunny day, or it's a trip with swimming and I need to reapply. The only issue with it is that I think I use it too fast for the price point, and second of all, it leaves white cast on like black clothes, which most of my clothes, especially not on my face, because. But for example, if I cover tattoos or something, I often, and my pants are, for example, black, they usually have white stains. Then I have, this is like a perfume with a roller that I bought because it was supposed to smell like green tea, like there is a hint. But I keep it because sometimes you're in stinky situation. Like for example, I was on a plane and neighbor such a stinky breath, but also what will you do? They will not, like, you can't do anything in that situation, so I just put it like beside my nose, or for example, when I was traveling with my cat, as soon as we sat in a bus, she decided to go number 2. I cleaned everything quickly, but I really was afraid to annoy people, so I just like put it everywhere, to even if something was smelling, because I don't have the strongest sense of smell, and I was afraid maybe it smells but I don't notice it. So yeah, like for such situations. And what else? Oh, for nails. I used to have acrylic nails for like 3 years, and I do plan to return them. I just like in a financially, I don't know how to explain this, but basically for the next 3 months more, I'm not spending any money, attempting to not spend any money. I have a band-aids for blisters or something like that, but also when I was like, I would break a nail or like have a crack in a nail, I would cover it to avoid pain, avoid like tearing it more or something. And another, for the same reason, I bought nail glue. I'm not sure, was there anything left here? It's unclear. To like, for example, I'm going to a nail technician in like 3 days, so there is no reason to rush and pay more, but there is already a crack. I would glue it in to survive till the appointment. And then we have medicine, actually somewhere in between this loop. These are ear plugs. I think they're very famous ads everywhere. So many influencers were advertising them, and they're okay. I bought it for 2 situations. When I'm traveling, for example, on a train and someone snores, I cannot survive that. And second of all, if I will go to a concert for health of my ears, usually like wear headphones like this everywhere, at work, when I on a train, for example, and someone snores, I sleep like that and turn on a music. So I thought it would be a replacement more comfortable. However, they only cancel up to 21 decibels, something like that. So you still can hear stuff. So it's not like it cuts off almost all of the word. When I was going in the bus, it cuts off a lot of like excessive noise. You still hear everything, but it cuts out excessive noise. And I guess it will be useful in a concert, but for a price point, I was hoping more. They were like advertised as such, like technologically advanced and so on. I don't really hear difference. I have this recent edition. I have this bobby pin, or how it's called, for closest emergency situation. I have a meter. I actually have an app on my phone that like shows centimeters, but it's not very accurate, and if I keep forgetting my sizes or if I need to measure something, so it doesn't take a lot of space, and I decided to add this. And let's move to my medical element of this bag. First of all, I have this, it used to be sugar-free candies, matcha green tea, but now it's pills. It's ibuprofen. When you're at work and you suddenly have period pains or a headache, there is no way you will get rid of it by breathing or any non-medical situation. Like, yeah, good luck with that. But also, I consulted with a doctor because I was being afraid that I'm overusing them, and taking a lot of pills is also not that healthy. But I was told, first of all, amount I take is not that much. It wouldn't hurt, but also that if you allow pain to continue, it can turn into cycle, because pain, there can be no reason for pain or like nothing wrong, but your organism reacts to pain and thinks that something's wrong and throws hormones or some reaction at you. So I have charcoal in case of like stomach situation. Actually, I'm not sure I'm using them correctly, but there was a case station when there was a work trip on a minibus, and we stopped at a petrol station. I ate something, and immediately as soon as we started going, I realized that my stomach is not reacting really well, and it was type of the road where you cannot stop like on the outside, and we would go like for 2 hours, and also it's like not a quick situation. I wasn't sure like even if we will stop right away that it's very quick situation to sort. So that's why I also for the same reason have atoxyl, like a gel form of stuff. This is stronger, but it's also less convenient in a format. And yeah, and I also have I have one wet wipe just in case there are occasionally some emergencies that requires it. I have this like anti-cold medicine, so it's like paracetamol and stuff like that. Basically, I turn it, put it in a hot water and drink like a tea, and it's supposed to help with symptoms. Again, it's mostly for times when I cannot quickly go to home or there is no pharmacy, for example, during travel. I have a pill format of this, but for some reason I trust, it's very irrational because content is basically the same. I trust sachets more because besides like paracetamol and other stuff in it, you also drink hot water, which probably helps. It smells like lemon, so this is in case 3 sachets are not enough and I don't have pharmacy nearby. I will not be closing this because it will take a few minutes. Second bag, first of all, it's a bag because I bought a bag due to Mummy Troll and then I wanted to use it somewhere. But it turns out to be very useful. This is stuff I maybe don't need that often. Again, but it's passport. Again, don't need that often, but occasionally I'm very terrified I will forget for travel. And then I will need to return it. It will cost a lot of money and I will miss stuff. But also when you go to some to receive some of the civil services, they will ask for your ID and I'm like, oh, I forgot, I scheduled this and now I need to reschedule. And I also have second form of ID, it's like a temporary residence permit in Lithuania. Next in this bag is bank calculator ID. I'm not sure how it's called, but basically because I don't have an official ID, electronic ID in Lithuania, to confirm my identity, they gave me this, like, it looks like a mini calculator, but basically you put a code in it and then app shows you second code and you put second code and it gives you another code and it confirms that it's this calculator. I have few just like pretty things here from Italy, and then I also have this bottle opener. Again, I don't really need it, but like once a year I will buy a kombucha that won't be opened by a cashier, or we are on a trip and someone on a trip needs something open. It's tiny, so no issues with that. Kinda in the same general area, and it used to be in a green Moomin bag. Lip gloss. I bought it mostly because it said SPF 15 antioxidants peptides. Like SPF 15 it's not that much, but I love it because it smells really nice, and it gives me a bit of a mood booster. I don't really figure out how to use lip glosses and lipsticks because I eat them like in 5 minutes, so I would need to reapply them and reapply, but this is like not visible if I ate it or if it's I ate part of it or if I slightly smudged it. It smells nice. I actually bought already the second one. But yeah, this one I have, this is hand sanitizer. I definitely need to use it more. It just almost, yes, it's almost empty, and I bought it. It's actually pretty pricey for a hand sanitizer. However, I bought it for a few reasons. First of all, it smells really nice, almost like perfume. This one is a bit like more woody scent. It's thin and very pretty, and also it's refillable. Like there is, I didn't know you can buy refill from this company, but the company itself sells refills, and I plan to purchase. And yeah, like original purchase of one is pricey, but then I will fix this also later. But then per use, per price, it normal price. I think the refill is like quite big thing, costs like €11, and it by itself costed 9 or 10. Actually, in a shopping store here, I saw it for 14, but I think it's like just a markup. Antibacterial wet wipes. Again, I not always have these, and I don't need them that often, but occasionally there is some, I don't know, sticky situation. Also because summer here, and I do forget to use them, but these are sunglasses. They're very cheap. I bought them from some Chinese website. But first of all, I like how they look on me, and second of all, occasionally it's very sunny, especially if I go on some trip and I forgot to, like, There are moments when I really need sunglasses, and these do not take a lot of space. Next, charging situation. I have a power bank, 20,000 milliamperes. It's a bit chunky, but it's okay. Why I like it for two reasons. First of all, you can charge laptop with it, like not fully, but if you are in an emergency situation, it can be used. It has this charging cable installed, meaning that you don't need to look for a second thing. The minus of this is that it's already like a bit broken, meaning that I need to put it very correctly for it to work. But if I need just few seconds for my phone to survive till I will get in my room, that's enough. So I don't know why in 2026 there's still phones that cannot survive through day. Like, why? Like, yeah, I constantly listen to music, I constantly read, but many people do. I remember like few years ago, like few phones ago, I bought Xiaomi. There are so many issues with Xiaomi. It used to overheat and so on. But like when I just bought it, it would survive through 2 days without charging. Why can't we have that back? I don't need an AI on my phone. I need battery to survive 2 days. And charging block and charging cable to complement this setup. When I'm in Ukraine, this is definitely a must, but almost every day after work I'm going home and my phone is almost dead. I also have a tote bag. This is from the only concert I ever went to, Miami. I don't want to go to more concerts, but that's topic for another thing. I already had to restitch it once, and there is like a hole because I use it a lot. And the thing about tote bags is that they often advertised as like a sustainable option, but they are sustainable only if you use it over and over and over and like for many years. It's very convenient, especially that if my bag is very small and I, for example, need to buy a few things, I don't need to hold all of them. I often do, but I don't need to. But for full grocery run, it's a bit too small, and I keep forgetting to bring my other shopping bag. Because every time I'm just going for a few things, and then I have like a bag and whole hands full. And then I have here is my notebook setup. I actually recently made a video about this. It's second year I'm using this setup, and the reason I have this small size so it can fit in any bag. And I bought this like very cute. I have here. Black pen, like regular pen. I have my fountain pen. I actually use mostly this, however, just in case there is, I'm run out of ink and I need to write something. I have a pencil so I can draw and sketch, and this is like part of analogous aspect of this. I have this that looks like chewing gum is in it. It actually has, it looks like chewing gum, but it's actually eraser in it. If I need a notebook, I take this. I have another bag, but mostly I use this. I will just put my black bag in this bag. I have extra wet wipes. I have umbrella that I never use. I have charger. I have this one of the reasons I wish for slightly bigger bag, because for example I cannot fit, well, I can fit, but then I cannot close collapsible cup in it, and also I cannot fit my second power bank there. This is only 10,000 milliamperes, so I prefer that one. So if I forgot to charge, I still can use it. Also, about things I want to add to my like analogous van, I would like to more often have some food, like a snack that can be there for a long time. For example, these pouches, or occasionally it's bar or something, like some food, because occasionally I will feel hungry and then I'm more likely to go to a cafe or more likely to go on a grocery run and buy a lot of stuff when I actually don't need. I need just something to survive till home where I can eat fully. But the issue is, if I have some food in my bag, I will immediately eat it. and then I forget to put it something else back. So maybe I need to do that more often. Another thing I would like to do, but because it's extra money and because I am a bit afraid I won't use it and it's money, is first of all, I would like to I got this e-reader, which is extra ink. It's very tiny, so it's like Kindle but very tiny, and it would fit in my bag and I can read without getting interrupted by notification or something and rely on my phone less. And also maybe my charger and would survive longer. However, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you cannot listen to audiobooks there, and I occasionally on my phone listen to audiobooks. Yeah, I still think I would like to buy it, but I'm postponing because it costs like 70 euros, so it's like not that cheap. And another thing I saw that many people use, and I kind of like the idea, but logistically I'm not sure how it will work, is iPod or something like music player specifically for that. Again, it would let me preserve my battery longer. I would less often get distracted by my phone. However, I have 2,000 favorite songs on YouTube Music, and the idea of transferring them to device seems stressful. Plus, I like my Bluetooth headphones, and I'm not sure music players. There are good music players that allow Bluetooth connection. So I would need to get headphones or like something with a. Actually, I think yes, this can actually do have. Actually, this is not a problem. This can be connected with a cord which I have somewhere. Editing, I realized I forgot some things. First of all, in summer seasonal thing, I have this fan. It's electricless. I hang it on a bag so it doesn't need to go inside. And to be honest, amazing thing to have. Another thing I thought about is sustainability angle, what I can add to my bag to be more sustainable. To be honest, I didn't come up with much, because when I eat out, for example, I don't remember even last time I needed to use like plastic fork or plastic utensils or plastic anything. What I consider is those collapsible containers for food. If there is like extra food I have not finished eating, putting it into that and bringing it home instead of leaving it on the table or eating when you don't really want to. However, right now it doesn't fit, and I think I lost my collapsible box. As soon as I will find, I think I will repurchase at least one to have it with myself in a bigger bag if I am taking it with me. However, I mentioned that I don't really eat with plastic utensils, so on. Usually I eat in cafe or eat something like a fast food place where it's everything paper you throw out, which by the way, I can make more sustainable choices by choosing places that are less wasteful. However, things that I can improve by bringing stuff with myself is collapsible cup, because what I do often use is plastic cups, mostly because in some places they do not give you a choice for glass cup, and also in some cases where you can ask, like there were a few cases where I just wasn't fast enough to say no. This is, I also can use it for water, and to be honest, one of the reasons I don't use it lately is because it used to have carabiner, so I can put it on my bag without putting it in a bag, but carabiner broke and I cannot find carabiner of the right size. I'm still looking. Straw I consider, because I do often use straw, but reason I do that, not because I need to want to, besides few like accessibility issues some people do have. Most often you don't need a straw. However, in some cases they give you and I'm not fast enough to refuse or return, or sometimes it's just awkward, which I need to work on, and they will not take it back, or if they will take it back, but I'm not sure they will not just throw it away. So I'm not sure bringing with myself straw really works that much. For summer, another thing is water bottle, because most often, like throughout the year, tap water is drinkable. There is water like everywhere. However, during summer, it's sometimes so hot that if there is like shop right here that sells water, it sometimes feels like the easiest choice to make. So having a water bottle would help. However, it doesn't fit in my bag. I could have water in this, but again, I need to find carabiner. I considered adding like a small sewing kit. I can do that if I will figure out how to make it small enough. However, to be honest, I cannot imagine a lot of situations where I would need it. Well, they happen. So I think I have somewhere, it was like hotel one, and if I will find it, I will add it to my like green bag. And otherwise, thinking about everything I can have to be more sustainable, it's mostly about choices, not to buy stuff in extra packaging and making choices that are less like packaged, choosing meatless or vegan option instead of meat option, choosing place that serves on a real tableware instead of fast food place that wraps everything in paper, and oily paper cannot be really recycled from what I heard, so it's not really recyclable. So, or not buying just extra stuff. So I cannot come up with anything extra I can add to be more sustainable. And another thing is journals. So sometimes I don't feel like reading a book and get into the whole story, and I would just like to get something like that. And Storygraph is kind of like that. However, I noticed that first of all, when I open like all my apps, I'm like, I will go to TikTok or something. And second of all, I have a bad habit of trying to find like again, it's a lot of scrolling. I keep saving articles and not reading them. So my ideal setup would include one of like journals that I can put. I got quite few different like artistic journals where they write articles and then they're pretty. So if I have like free time, I'm reading them rather than scrolling. But they're bulky. I'm not sure I can do that without getting a bigger bag. I thought about like when they talk about analog bags, they talk about hobbies or like something to do with the hands. I have my sketchbook where I can draw, but because I don't always want to, and also I don't have a habit to reach for it, so I think I want to do that more. And I'm thinking what other, like something I can do with my hands I can add, because I think something like knitting or crocheting wouldn't take that much space, but still it stresses me a bit, because if I want to spend that much money on something or a time on something, I would rather have something that I would wear. And there is I'm reading and I'm drawing often, so having those separate from my phone. I have already drawing, I just need to use it more, and I would like to get an e-reader so I can read more outside of my phone. Music, I'm not sure logistically how would it work. 2,000 songs. And if you ask me to choose only few, I will sometimes listen for 10 songs on repeat and then would not listen for them to 2 years and then listen to them again. So maybe I should start small and maybe choose like 1 or 2 albums or like 10 songs and update selection every few weeks. I will think on this. This is my bag situation. I loved filming it, but I realized how much stuff I already have in my bag. So maybe I need to somehow downsize it and optimize it, or find a better bag.